Roger. You played him in people forget you played him in a Grand Slam final.
Yeah.
I mean,
played him in the quarters. It was 2 quarters too. I played him in the Open quarters and Aussie Open quarters. You know, Roger was the first guy I ever played against where I could hit a ball exactly how I wanted. I knew it, and I still didn't feel safe. Like I knew I was going to bleed him with a backhand and he was going to slice it. Normally, that's pretty good territory to be in, but you always...
His slice comes off weird, though.
You always
it's
had to have
so
your guard
like
up.
you have to like get like really kind of create that like friction mechanism against it, right? Like it just like doesn't get to you, and then if it his slice comes off different.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But you know what he did so much differently is like he would take one big step with his right foot if he's going to hit over a backhand, and he catch that ball later than most one-handers catch it, right? So and then he could throw that thing, right? So like he'd step back and just letting the ball travel that much deeper in the strike zone just made you pause that split second. And then if he didn't hit it all that well, I'd never felt like I was
that pause meant you couldn't take that step in, and then.
So on a side note, from a strategic standpoint in tennis, the easiest thing to do on a tennis court is to expect opportunity and then abort. Expect opportunity, then abort. The hardest thing to do on a tennis court is to not expect opportunity. Then all of a sudden you get it, right? And then you're up to it a second late. Your mind's going a mile a minute, and then you can overjuice that. You can underjuice it. You could talk yourself into. It's like we're always looking to slow down our side of the court. And if you look for opportunity and it's not there, you just keep it slow by aborting, right? So with Roger, I would hit a ball and I wasn't allowed to look for opportunity, because even if I looked, I could be in trouble, right? It's like he could just hold it and then penalize you. I mean, the way he was magic. I mean, he's just absolute magic. When he beat me in the finals of the Open, I mean, I was saying hello to the next player of the next future generations. Little did I know, we'd have 2 guys named, Rafa and, Novak come around.
I still say there are people who serve bigger. But I still, when people ask me, as far as pitching a ball game, I think you and Roger were really great at pitching a ball game. You have 17 tosses, like you would throw them into different things. You would hit one out of your ear. You'd let one, it would get a foot past where it normally, and so like, just for our listeners, like you get rhythm off of someone's serve, and that's when you time your split step, and that's when you start looking, and when you're picking them off clean, you're finding that rhythm. This motherfucker would literally like toss the ball up 2 feet higher, then serve one out of his ear. And Roger had that game too.
Wow.
Like he could quick serve, he could lay off, he could, hit one wide, he could slice. And I thought you two were the ones where like you would toss it up. And I know you wanted to get to your kick to open up, but like you would kind of save it for certain moments. You two, like Pete served great. His second serve was way better, but he had all the options also with speed. I think you guys had to negotiate your speed in a way that was the most effective that I had ever seen.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I don't disagree with that. I was very purposeful in every serve I hit to set up the rest of the point. But I tell you, people forget that Roger was just a straight serve volleyer for a couple of years early on in his career. And he played me at the Open just serve volleying. I mean, I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you. Like literally, it wasn't until he actually stopped doing that.
That'd be like 01 or 02 or something like that.
Those years run together because I actually liked the game at that point. But he because I remember like Pete was even he even came out of the shell and congratulated me in the tournament because it was going to be a problem and it was a bad round. It was round of 16 or something. But he serve volleyed and it was like, whoa. I mean, like so his serve dropped off to me dramatically if he got predictable behind it. Like when he all of a sudden you didn't know on top of it if he was going to serve volley versus stay back.
See, I didn't see that. And it was like he would pull the string at certain points. And like to this day, we've played however many times. I don't know where he's going on a break point on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Like
anywhere he wants.
Yeah. And it different paces. Yeah. There's the 117, there's the 128, there's the similar to you, same swing. It's like a changeup versus a fastball. It's
like a golfer scaring the cup on every roll too, even if he misses.
Yeah. And by the way, like just people at home listening to commentators going like, well, they're not making returns like against the players that we're talking about. If you don't stick that first ball against them, it's not a matter of making it. We're not just missing returns because we don't know what to do. Like it's because that first ball, if I lay it in the middle against him, I might as well have missed it. Like you kind of have to create.
My whole objective is to get any ball that isn't hit purely. I mean, when I say purely, not just off the string,
stuck,
but depth or direction is getting penalized. And when you walk off the real estate of that tennis court, that's about everywhere except maybe 2 feet from lines.
Talk about Rafa, and I want to get it back to I drew a line from Matt's because you said, he likes playing defense and I like making people play defense. I want to say Rafa might be the one that changed that. You guys played in 2005 in the final in Canada, if I'm not wrong. I remember watching that one and it felt like, oh, he's taking Andre's shots to the corners, but he's creating this spin profile that like, it was the first time I'd seen you uncomfortable after you had gotten kind of on top of the point.
Yeah. So unfortunately that year it was a high bouncing Canadian Open court, which is just bad math there with Rafa. He was the first guy I ever played where I looked at him going out there, not knowing better. I looked at him like, okay, lefty, a lot of spin. If you go after his forehand, he's going to leave a lot of balls short. You can dictate from there. I don't mind if he's going to get to extra. Same thing you're saying. But I went out there early in the match. I pounded one backhand cross court. He tried to fight it off and go deep. I took the next one early and I moved him around and won the point. And I literally think I physically saw him like the Terminator go, okay, I got it. Next time he does that, I'm going so high and so short that in order for me to take that thing on the rise, I had to commit so far into the court. And what I never had is that speed, right? I had always had good footwork. I always, had a decent.
It wasn't line to line. It was controlling the middle and those circle C movements.
Yeah, and if it was windy, it didn't matter because my feet were going. But so all of a sudden, I bake a backhand cross court. He'd throw that thing up in the air where it's landing on the service line. If I don't get up on top of that ball, I have to now back up, else it's going to be way over my head. So I'm literally going, okay, so I got up on top of it and I hit it.
If you don't hit it perfectly, he's bruising you.
No, you're stuck in the middle of the court. You're done.
He's on your shoe tops.
So then I said, okay, I got my play. Now he's going to do that thing and I'm going to commit and come forward and just screw it because he's way over there, right? He throws a spin up, just take it early up the line. I'm already at net. Like literally I'm already there. He's in the corner. He still finds a way to throw that thing at my feet. I actually hit a great, for me, drop volley, right? Because it's the only play I had underneath the net. And he runs and throws that thing over and around me. It wasn't in till it bounced. And then he throws a vamos like 3 feet away. And I'm going, respect. Respect. I mean, that's too good. That's too good. But I got his weakness though. You know what his weakness is, right?
Tell me.
The only way I broke serve that match.
Tell me.
Here's this guy that had all these quirks to him.
Oh, did you kick over his water bottle?
Yeah.
I wanted to do that one time.
I kicked over his water bottle.
Did you really do that?
Yeah. I tipped it over.
Oh, I wanted to go full grammatic on it one time.
No. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to cause an issue. I just wanted to see how he reacted.
And you just kind of give a little.
So he walked to the side. So then he goes and he starts doing
I've talked about this so many times with my friends.
The headband, the eyes, the nose. He goes through his whole routine that he's done a million times. And then just before he serves, it's like his eyes turned to his water bottle.
And it was
like not perfect.
It was dead.
Yeah. Anyhow, I broke him for the second set, but that didn't last.
Short-term fix.
Band-Aid.
I don't think you played Novak, right?
I actually played him in a pre-Wimbledon exhibition grass court thing, which was useless. I mean, he was over 100 in the world. And
give me your thoughts. A lot of times I use you as the example of him being able to control the middle of the court, but then you add 5 inches, you add the length, you add the defense, and it's like, I don't know where to go. What do you see when you spent the last 20 years watching Novak?
I see the greatest defensive player the game's ever seen. And shockingly, this might shock you, but when he needs to be, possibly the greatest offensive player the game's ever seen, in the sense that he could open a court up from the center with a forehand cross if he feels panicked at all. He's the kind of guy, if you think about it, he's like the boxer that needs to feel the glove hit him before he even engages, right? He gets out there on a tennis court and he just goes into this lockdown mode, let the match come to me, right? And you start throwing punches at him and then you get away with a few and then you start getting him like a little bit engaged, and then he goes into hyper lockdown mode, and then he starts making you have to hit 5 winners a point to win a point, and then all of a sudden he gets a little agitated at that. Then he throws a little offense in, and you're thinking to yourself, where did that come from? Now that there's a little offense, like I couldn't win the point when he was on defense, and now he's on offense, and he just like slowly, it's like if you're swimming in the ocean like with 15-foot swells, and Novak's like the wet blanket that gets thrown on you, and you're just like, but I'm drowning anyhow. And now you just, it's like, he's like an amoeba that just swallows you and drags you under. It's like, he beats you defensively. He beats you offensively. It's like, he wants to beat you. Like he wants to beat your mom too. Like, it's like, like, take it easy. I mean, it's okay. You're going to get through this. We don't like just this, but the guy is world class. I mean, how many different ways can you say it? He can hurt you from any part of the court. In a defensive position, he can hurt you from any part of the court. In an offensive position,
return-wise, like you were an offensive returner. You can make him when you needed to. Every great person can be better at something, but he was like simultaneously, he had like the Murray length thing where he could stretch and put a return in play, and you on second serves where you're putting it on their shoot tops with force. Like the offensive defensive thing doesn't just end during the point. He was able to do it with returns.
So here's how I saw his return, both as as an opponent and also being around him up close. The whole purpose of a return is to get to neutral. That's the whole purpose of return, right? Like if you're better than somebody in the meat and potatoes, you want to get, but neutral means something different depending on how well you move, right? So like for me, neutral meant I had to get ahead on the return, because if I just hit the return that Novak hits, somebody's going to move me and I'm behind, right? Novak's not behind. So his need to panic on being offensive with his return is non-existent. I mean, he doesn't need to. Now, the question is, if he had to be aggressive, what would it look like? And of course, if he did it over and over again, I think he has the ability to do it better than anybody. But for him, it was always about direct. It wasn't about, I don't feel like with Novak's offensive returning that it was ever about, he had to be pissed off. He had to have a reason. Like it was hard to get him to think he even has to be aggressive on the return. Yeah, but if he had to, I mean, he can do it.